Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well. Coming to you live here from Vero Beach, Florida. And it's another Tuesday Talks. And I'm being joined today by the lovely Stacey. I'm just gonna wait until she hops on here. So we're live here on Instagram as well as Facebook. So if anything that's discussed today you have questions about, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let us know what questions you might have. Also let us know if you're watching the replay because we'd love to say hi to you. So I'll wait a little bit here, see if Stacey's coming on, but I'm super excited to interview her. We actually have never met. So that's pretty cool. This is the first time that we'll be chatting and it's all here for you guys live. So great. Just gonna see if she's gonna hop on here. There she is. Okay, so Stacey, go ahead and request to join and I'll grab you. So I don't know if do you see the button in the bottom? I think it is. Yep, there you go. Okay, hold on one second. Bringing her on. So super excited.
There we go. It worked.
Stacey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Jessalyn? I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this and you're here. This is great.
Yeah, I appreciate the offer.
Absolutely.
I love to chat Rodan and Fields with other people. So, and I'm envious of you in Florida. I'm in the middle of Missouri and it's frigid here. So,
oh my gosh, well, feel free to come down anytime because
be careful, I might take you up on that.
Yeah, you're welcome to. We live about 8 minutes from the beach, so feel free to come on down.
I am so jealous.
Yeah, so to get started, Stacey, will you just introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us about yourself.
Sure. I'm Stacey Blodgett, and I just mentioned that I am from Missouri, and I'm from a very, very small town, right smack dab in the middle of Missouri. Very agricultural based, 5,000 people.
Wow.
Some of my friends, when I say small town, they're thinking, you know, Franklin, Tennessee or something like that.
Yes,
I'm like, no. This is very small. So,
yeah, 5,000 is.
Yeah, we have a Walmart and it's not even a super center. So that's how small we are.
Oh my gosh.
I have 2 kids. My daughter is traveling the United States in an RV with her husband. They just got married last year.
Wow.
And my son just got engaged. So
awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's a lot of exciting things happening in your life. That's so cool. So since you said you're from such a small town, how were you introduced to RNF?
Well, probably the way most of us were, and that was through social media. I had been watching a friend of mine post about, you know, before and afters and the Rodan and Fields products. And I was very skeptical. I'm kind of a skeptical person by nature. And so I just continued to watch for quite some time. And then in February, actually it's 6 years this month that I joined Rodan Fields. I woke up on a Saturday. I remember it very distinctly. I woke up on a Saturday. I went into the bathroom. I looked in the mirror and I swore it was my grandmother staring back at me. And so it was a reality check. I was getting ready to turn 50 as well. And so I immediately went and grabbed my phone and I called Suzanne and I said, okay, you've got to tell me about this stuff that you're selling. And so that's how I was introduced.
Wow, that's so cool. So you kind of were watching, like you said, but then you saw that you needed something. So you reached out. That's so cool. That's really cool. My story's a little different. I shared, I think last week, but I basically saw a post and liked it. And it was of my sponsor who was on an all paid trip with Rodan and Fields. And I just liked her post. I was like, okay, that's great. And then she's like, do you want to know why I'm here? I'm like, okay, sure. And that's how I was introduced. So similarly through social media.
Uh-huh.
So in your opinion, Stacey, what makes Rodan and Fields unique? There's so many network marketing companies, not just skincare, but like in general. Like, what do you think it is about Rodan and Fields specifically that makes us unique?
Well, I think there's lots of things, but the two that come to mind for me right now would be, first of all, Rodan and Fields knows what they're good at, and that's skincare. And so their focus is solely on skincare products. And I think that makes us unique. Not all companies are like that. And our founders are Dr. Rodan and Dr. Fields, and they have been experts in skincare. They're dermatologists. They went to school together at Stanford, and they've been together ever since. And so they created this company with the sole purpose of being able to provide dermatological skincare to people like you and I without having to go to the doctor. Like, again, where I'm from, I have to travel an hour and a half to find a dermatologist, and then the wait is just, tremendous to get into it. And then the other, well, this kind of goes with that. I think a lot of people don't realize how brilliant these doctors are, because they're visionaries. Back in 2008, they had Rodan and Fields in high-end department stores. Mm-hmm. And we were the #1 seller in Nordstrom. And in 2008, they're looking ahead and they're saying, you know what? I think that people are going to start buying off of recommendations.
Yes.
TripAdvisor style. And also, people are going to be buying online. And so they chose to pull out of retail to go to this business model. So that's one thing that I think is unique, and that's our founders. And then the second thing is it's simple.
Yeah.
It takes the guesswork out of skincare. I read an article the other day that said I think it was about 60% of people are confused when they stand in the aisle of skincare. Yeah. And I was one of them. I didn't know what any of the things meant. I would just buy whatever because I liked the package or the words sounded good. And heaven knows I was probably buying two of the same thing, but this company called it one thing and this company called it the other. So that's what I loved about the skincare was it is developed with the right ingredients. The doctors put them in the right formulation, in the right order. I mean, the bottles are even numbered. No. Like, I no offense to anybody, I'm saying this for myself, but it's like skincare for dummies, you know? If I can count to 3, then I can do quality skincare. And so I think that makes us really unique, not just in network marketing, but just in the skincare industry as a whole.
I would agree with you. And I love the points that you pointed out so much, because a lot of people don't realize what Rodan and Fields even means. They're like, what is that? Is that names? Is it just like a catchphrase? Is it something that they just made up? Because a lot of companies do have names that are made up. But it's really interesting that ours are founded by dermatologists who still practice dermatology in office. And so it's not, I always look at products that are created, researched, and tested. Mm-hmm. And that's what ours are. And that's what makes us so unique, I think, is because we really do have the proof to back up what we're putting out there. And I think that's really important because, like you said, you go into the grocery store, into Target, you just stand there and you're like, what do I choose? I feel like that in the hair care aisle too. There's just so much out there. Mm-hmm. So simplicity is key. And I agree with you on that. So I know you mentioned earlier when you were in the mirror looking at yourself and you were like, oh my gosh, is this my grandma? Who is this? You know, and clearly you had been watching a friend. You knew that her products were working because you could see the visible results. Why didn't you just start on product? What made you consider the business opportunity?
Well, the day I called, I did start on product. I told her, because she immediately presented the business opportunity to me, which I am so thankful for. And I think that that's another thing people don't realize, that when we are presenting the business opportunity, it's because we are so grateful that somebody did it to us and that they believed in me enough to know that I could do this business. And so she presented it to me, and I said, nope, 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 nope. I've got too much on my plate. I had one in college. My son was graduating high school. And I was like, I just got too much to do. I'm too busy. And she goes, yes, but busy people get things done. Like,
yeah, they do.
So I'm kind of frugal, and I looked at the business kits, and I realized it was such a good deal that I could not pass it up. So in all honesty, I bought the kit, not going to sell.
Okay.
But I was facing two things in my life: college expenses for 2 children, and empty nest.
Yeah.
My whole identity for 20 some years was based on my kids. And so I had been with this idea in the back of my mind that I should get a part-time job to help with some expenses, keep myself busy. But in my town, that means working at the grocery store and having a schedule and standing on my feet all day. And I'm like, I don't really want that. I want to be able to go do what I want to do and that sort of thing. And so I decided, what the heck? I'm just going to try it. And back in those days, our kit was, I think I paid $695 to get started. And I had earned back my kit twice, plus commission in the first month of business. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I walked into? And it has been just a whirlwind ever since. You know, you don't know what you don't have until you have it. And that's how I feel about this business.
That's incredible. And I love that this month is celebrating your 6-month anniversary.
Six year
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yes, I misspoke, but your 6-year anniversary, like what a better time to talk about this and talk about your experience, because clearly if it didn't work for you, or clearly if you didn't like the products, you wouldn't still be doing this business. It wouldn't be benefiting you at all or benefiting your family. So I think that's really important too, to look at the longevity of you doing this as well. So Stacey, what would you say to anybody who's considering Rodan and Fields as a business opportunity or considering network marketing? Because again, we're in this industry, there's a lot of shade being thrown at network marketers, but it's not a really shady business at all. We're basically storytellers, and we share what we love, which is human. That's completely human. So what advice do you have?
Well, for network marketing as a whole, I would encourage you to not reflexively say no. I think a lot of people have heard things from, you know, their brother, sister-in-laws, cousins, daughter, who did something in network marketing and didn't make any money.
Yeah.
Well, this is a business, and while it's simple and easy, you do have to do some work to make some money. And so I would encourage people to talk to somebody, ask questions before they make a decision. So it's truly educated on the facts.
Yeah.
And the things we talked about with Rodan and Fields are things that I would be looking for in a company, is like longevity, who's developing the products, do they have independent clinical results? Those are a few things when you're kind of looking at a company to look at. And then my advice would be to just jump in. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I just took a leap of faith. And the thing is, there's no risk at all, because, well, especially right now, you can join for $45.
I know.
$695. There's a little bit more risk, except that you can turn it back in if you don't like it.
Yeah, I spent $995.
I wish I'd bought that kit, but I didn't.
Yeah, I just was like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'd better do it. But 45 sounds incredible.
Yeah,
and you absolutely can do that.
You know, 50% off your first order. That is amazing. And then, you know, you get the consultant discount after that. So, I mean, if nothing else, you're paying for your own skincare. But if you are coachable and you want to do this business, you're going to make money. But one thing I wanted to point out is I have told many people, Rodan and Fields people and friends and family, that I think I would continue doing this even if I wasn't making the money that I'm making, because it's the friendships. I mean, again, very small town. I have friends all over the world.
It's so cool.
I earned all expense paid trips to Banff, Canada, San Francisco, and I'm, meeting these people that I never ever would have had that opportunity, and experiencing things that I would have had. And then, one thing my son loved the most was one of the items that I earned was a Yeti cooler. And he was like, so I kept saying, this is something that I'm working towards in this program that we have. And he would ask me every week, well, do we have that Yeti cooler yet? Do we have it there? So my 20-some-year-old son is now carrying around a Yeti cooler that says Rodan and Fields, and he doesn't care. It was free, and he loves it. So
that's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, we're not just earning on our customers. We get commission when we coach our team and they do well. We also have incentives from corporate where they honor us either monetarily or in prizes. The earning potential is abundant. It's never ending, which is kind of incredible. And I don't think you can say that about other industries or other jobs that you might have. So whatever your goal is, we can achieve it through Rodan and Fields. Which is
I worked like 30 plus years in the private and public sector before joining Rodan and Fields. And I can tell you 100%, I have never been more supported, more respected, more appreciated than I am with this company. And one thing I didn't mention, when I say just jump in, don't let the excuses of, oh, I'm too busy, I'll do it when. Because 18 months after I started this business, I lost my job because of budget cuts. Totally out of the blue. I had no idea. I was driving home, I commuted, I drove home, I answered the phone. They're like, you don't have a job in 6 weeks. I was like, wow. And of course, I panicked and everything. But then by the time I got home, I thought, I don't have to panic. I have Rodan and Fields. So it allowed me to have choices. I am doing some consulting work by choice because I want to. So I work when I want with that other consulting job. Never would I had the opportunity to do that if I had not started when I started.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. I didn't know that about you, actually. I had no idea that your job was taken from you. Wow.
That's why I'm so passionate about sharing the business, is because you never think it's going to happen to you. And so I feel passionate about telling everybody you need multiple streams of income. You need a plan B in case something that you can't predict does happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you also know that wealth is built on multiple streams of income. It's not built by one job. I mean, most of our households are 2-income households. I mean, unless you are single, but still like 2-income households, and you still aren't building legacy or wealth that way. So, there are opportunities out there that can certainly provide that for you, and that security. I mean, I think that was probably one of the most important things for you, is that you felt so secure.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's incredible. So Stacey, I want to thank you so much for joining me for
I enjoyed
Tuesday Talks. This is a new series that I've started this year, and I just am loving it because I'm meeting so many consultants from different areas where I hadn't met before, and your stories are so eye-opening. So I just want to remind everybody who's watching now or watching the replay, feel free to drop questions below once we post these videos. We appreciate you joining us and supporting us and listening to what we have to say. If you're too shy to comment in the comments about your questions, feel free to message one of us. We'd be happy to answer them. And I just, again, want to thank you, Stacey, for taking time out of your day to join me today. Thank you. It was really wonderful. So I'm going to post both of these on Facebook and Instagram. So we're good to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your day in the sunshine. And
You too. I will.
all right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.